It's Shannon.
Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon Live.
It's Shannon.
Because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning and in the midst of COVID?
Working for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Hi, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Thank you for joining us tonight for our hot topics, real issues. We got some hot topics tonight to talk about. Hello, ladies. How you
Hello,
doing?
beloved.
Well, we got some hot topics to talk about tonight because, look, the first one is about anger. I don't know how you feel when you get angry and how far you would take it. But our first topic is with the young lady, Gladys Augustine, who got so angry that she took and threw her boyfriend's mother's ashes into the lake because she found out he was cheating on her. So,
Is that her in the mugshot?
yes, that's her in the mugshot. And then
That's the
she's
same person throwing
she's throwing the ashes. She's throwing the ashes over in the lake. Now, I know we get angry, and you know we do things that we're not supposed to do. But do you think she took this too far?
What?
Listen,
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, but I'd like to blame him for this, right? Did you see that mugshot? Why would he leave her alone with his mama?
No.
The mugshot.
And
The
he
mugshot ain't got
How
nothing
did
to
she
do.
get the ashes? How?
The
She
mugshot
broke
don't
in
have
the
anything to do.
No, the ashes
She broke in the house?
probably the man to she's always been there. But the
Yeah,
thing
she took him from his house and everything.
Yeah, but
you
You
know?
let her in?
you don't do that. That's totally unacceptable. Disrespect.
You're right.
And I don't blame him. She has the mother has nothing to do with anything.
You're right. Her
I don't-
trifling son is the reason why she got poured out. But anyway, listen, right? It's his fault.
No, I'm not
If
gonna.
he knew he was cheating on her,
No.
why would she have access to the house?
No, I don't.
Because they've been
dumb.
dating. If you've been dating somebody, you go over to their house, don't you?
No, that's
You
not,
go to the man's house you're dating. You go
Right,
to
but
each
I
other's
don't
house.
leave. I don't leave with the urn of his mama when I go.
Well, then he
No.
probably wasn't there. He
Now,
probably
listen,
wasn't there.
if you got to worry about taking an urn every time you leave out the door, and you got to worry about if you do something, she's in jeopardy. Then why are you in a relationship?
Right? Why you dating her?
He had to have
Well,
known.
he wasn't worried. He wasn't worried about her taking no urn or doing anything.
I mean, she was, but she
He
looked
never
nuts.
thought that she would do anything like this. The thing about
Listen, that he
well, you
didn't
know
know
what?
her.
I mean, it's really kind of hard. I mean,
No,
well,
no,
first
no.
of all, let me just say you don't mess with anybody's mother, whether they did or alive. That's number one off the point. But
Somebody on the football field
Now-
found that out.
you don't know. You don't like I said. You don't know when the frame of mind when a person is when they're hurt.
Right?
If you truly hurt, you don't know what you might do.
I'm not
So I'm
gonna
not
throw his
gonna sit
mother
there
off a
and
bridge.
I'm not passing judgment against her. Only thing I
Right.
said, like I say, I wouldn't mess with nobody's mother where they dead or alive, anything, because I think
Right.
that's disrespectful. But when somebody truly hurts you, sometimes that hurt overtakes you and make you do things that you normally probably wouldn't have done before. That's why I say I'm not going to be in judgment, because I mean I've done things in anger.
Well, I
That I
Listen,
regretted
can I ask
later
you a
that I
question?
did it.
We're talking
Can I
about
ask you a
a
question?
girlfriend. How much has really been invested? We don't really know. I would like to know
Right.
about the relationship. How much has really been invested in this relationship?
But I was looking at the story. How old
Well,
is she?
it doesn't matter how much been invested. It had to be invested for her to be that hurt.
Yeah, but come on.
No.
What would for
not
her to
really.
be that
And-
hurt to make her want to hurt him? Because she was trying to hurt him by doing
Yeah,
this.
but
Because he hurt her.
What I don't understand how she's only going to be able to get up to a year in prison.
Listen, I hope he was worth it. How old was she? Because I was trying to
38.
find that out.
38.
38.
She was
She's 38.
38. She grown.
38.
I mean, her
What
has
grown
no
has to
age
do with anything.
age has no age.
Yeah,
Listen,
You're talking about her age and all that kind of stuff. We're talking about anger. We're talking about anger when you are angry.
Right. It's no
Listen,
age.
Because you know when you angry, don't sit there and say you don't do stuff.
listen, let me tell you something. I have eradicated people off my entire universe, trust me. But there are just certain things I just won't let people do. At the end of the day, you allow people that kind of power over your life to make you do things like that. You know what I mean? If somebody can hurt you that bad by something they knew that would hurt, that they knew would hurt you, then listen, hold them and block them off everything.
How many times have you heard people a man and a woman in a relationship?
Yes.
And one does something to the other one that truly hurts them to the core.
Yes.
And they go, because now sometimes, some people have been killed. Some people have been killed behind somebody doing something.
But those things are built up. This is not a first one-time incident. This is something built up, threatened. This, I'm sure this is not the first time doing something to his mother's urn or threatening him about something. This is not.
It's not the first.
The first time.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not the first time they have had an argument or whatever went down.
But here's the thing: I'm sure she's been through stuff before. She's 38. Okay.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. She's been through other. Maybe she has been through other stuff before, but we talking about the man.
Right, but I'm sure she tweaked out before.
I think,
and if she put it on social media, there's a host of evidence that you could probably go find of her doing nonsense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think it just only got this media attention because it's the urn.
No, that was because someone else put it on. Someone else put it on social media.
Yeah, but she allowed somebody else. She didn't.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But she allowed somebody to videotape her doing it.
What do you think was going to happen?
Right. She wasn't in the video talking about stop, don't do this. She didn't close it up and take it somewhere else. She continued pouring his mother out.
Mm-hmm. She didn't know she was being videotaped.
Girl, bye.
Come on now.
Bye. That video was
videotaped.
She's on a bridge. You can see somebody, like, she might as well be on the side of the bridge with the video camera.
Well, she didn't know someone was videotaping, and even if she did know, evidently she didn't care.
There you go.
You're still back to the point of when you are hurt. You're missing the point here.
We're not missing the point. The thing is,
you don't know how much she loved the man. You don't know that.
Come on.
They married?
You don't know how deeply
they got kids?
Wow, this is the boyfriend.
No, you don't know how deeply she loved him.
But like, come on.
No, don't even try to act like you so tough and all like that because you date
I'm not. I'm not. I have
somebody or married to somebody.
I understand, but they were married.
They don't have to be married. They don't have to be married.
I said either way. I said if you married or unmarried or whatever, it's the heart. You're messing with somebody's heart and their feelings.
And I understand that.
That's why you can't mess with people's feelings.
This is not the first incident.
You don't know how deep in they are. See,
I
you might be the type of person that can date somebody and you really don't care that much about him and blah, blah. Well, if they do this, they can just throw it out of my face and all that kind of stuff. But then if you truly, truly love that person, you ain't just going to just give them up just like that.
I just think
you're wilding. Yes, I am, for self-respect.
This is one incident too many for her. It is not the first incident, and I'm not even sure if this is the first incident he cheated. This is her last
straw for her. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This could have been her last straw.
Yeah,
this
but then
could have been the last straw because I guess if she found him cheating this time, that means he had cheated before. So
I assume he cheated before. We don't know if he cheated before. More to the story that we know about.
Huh?
It's more to the story than we know
Absolutely.
About. Oh, there's always more to the story and stuff. But the ideal of what we're talking about is how far you take anger. When
listen,
angry,
she could have just bleach his clothes or something. Like that was a lot. That was a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when you're angry, sometimes you just do stuff that you know. Sometimes you're just not even thinking about what you doing, and then you think about it afterwards.
I'm an adult with a whole kid. I can't have those kind of moments.
Well, I mean, you were saying that now. You don't know what you're gonna do if you got that angry.
I do. I have hefty bag a whole man's entire belongings and put them out on the curb. Trust me, I do know.
Well, throwing
At
some
the
clothes
end
out
of
the
the
window,
day,
Allison, ain't nothing
listen.
really harmful. I mean, so what if you threw the clothes
Right.
out there on the street?
But here's
There's
my
nothing wrong.
thing. But my point
All he
is,
gonna do is come home and pick them up and put them back in the bag or whatever.
no,
I
yeah, in
might
the
do
bag,
something
but not in my spot.
Now, I
But the
understand
end of the
what you're
day
saying.
is, I can't raise my son in an institution that's not one of learning. Now she's going to jail for a year. If
But
she
the
had a
thing
kid,
is,
what would I do with mine?
I mean, I
She's
know
not thinking.
we may say that, you know, yes, it's true. We may not know what we were doing in certain circumstances, but
Right.
today people need to have a little bit more control of their emotions.
Yes.
Find other outlets to handle situations.
Yes.
To assess how much they have to lose, and there's consequences to the things that they do.
Yes.
And these are the things that people are not considering. Now look at her face now. Look at
Right.
her face
She look
before
crazy.
and look at her face now in the mugshot. Yeah,
When-
she
when
was
you're when you're
She look
upset and
crazy.
hurt, you ain't thinking about no consequences.
You're
Yeah,
bugging.
You
Yes,
know
I
you're not
am.
thinking about a
I
consequence.
understand it. That's the problem.
You don't know.
That's the
Why
problem.
that's why when people get angry like that, so angry they pull out a gun and be shooting people and stuff. They're not thinking
So
about
that
the
we should say it's
consequences.
okay for when they do it. So the dude that killed the guy over French fries, it's
are
okay for
things that
him to
build
do it.
up. These are things that build up. Even if you want to use that example with the guy with French fries, that was just destroyed about the camel's back.
Right.
That guy was waiting for an outlet to do something, to have a reason to do something. So whatever the situation was going on with him, that's why this is much more to the case than like a one-time incident. And yeah, people say, yeah, the circumstances, the outcome is tragic, or cases should have mother. But the thing is, this was a bomb, just a ticking, waiting to happen.
Right.
Well, I mean, even though, like I said, it was the mother's ashes. No, you shouldn't have done that. You know, messing with someone's
that was
mother,
crazy.
because that's the only thing they had, you know, left of the mother like that. But it still wasn't as bad as like if the woman had been alive and she actually did something to the mother. You know what I'm saying? So that would have been like a tragedy or something like that. I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes we can't judge people for their reactions, because
I'm judging.
No, I don't, because you don't. Sometimes you know when you push
I'm judging.
when you push to the limits, you don't know what your response is going to be when you push to the limits.
Nothing
And
to get me put in jail.
we all can be pushed to our limits.
We can,
Because
but we also got to
sometimes
think.
people just make us angry about little stuff, and you get so angry about it. Just imagine when they push you to that point. It's just like the kids, you know, that's in school or out of school where they're being bullied. And they continuously being bullied, and then they just push them to the limit. And so now when they retaliate by stabbing you or shooting you, and then you want to know, why would they do something like that? That's because now they have pushed you to your limit. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So how do we think quickly before we do something that we shouldn't do? But we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with more hot topics. We'll be back.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Hi, we're back. Welcome back to Keeping It Real with Shannon. We're doing our hot topics, real issues tonight. Our next topic is we want to congratulate Governor-elect Wes Moore. He's the first Black governor for Maryland. But as always, every time we get in a position and run for something and we make it, it's always digging up something to kind of, you know, mess up the whole situation of you running and becoming governor, so you can be happy about what event happened. So he had a book he had written before called The Other Wes Moore, because there was another guy in the same town that had the same name. and they grew up in the same town together and everything, and then they eventually met. So what happened was that guy is in prison serving time, hard time, serving life in prison, hard time. So in the book, he had about when he grew up and everything. So they trying to say that he used some of that guy's of how he grew up to make it look like he had a hard life when he really didn't have a hard life, to sell more copies of his book. But I'm saying, regardless, like, why is it always at the time when, you know, something good is happening? He's becoming the first governor, Black governor in Maryland. The book was out a couple of years ago. So why are we talking about this now? How come every time somebody gets something good for them, somebody always got to put that negativism in there to mess up what the real issue is? I mean, when are we ever going to get past this? I'm just so tired of it. I'm so sick of it.
Well, you know, part of the problem,
it's never going to happen.
We live in a climax today where things are still not accepted as change, right? So people, it's always the first black this. For one, making it seem that there's diversity, equity, inclusion. Make it seem like the nation is turning to a better, when it's just we still have the same old problem, just in a different space, in a different shade. In other words,
right?
It's not the first.
Yeah, because like, when can we get past saying the first Black, the first Puerto Rican, the first Indian, Asian, whatever is in one day? Why we just can't say that person won?
Because they want people to feel that
that's it.
They want people to feel that this is a nation that is changing, and it's
right,
and we're becoming more diverse, and that's not the case.
And that's not the case, because at the end of the day, you see, America doesn't want its history challenged. And that's why they're like, oh no, just forget about what's happening. We'll just focus on what's moving forward. We have Juneteenth now. We have the first governor. They would rather not deal with the history and just focus on, hey, we gave you this. Right? You got this, right? You're making these strides and changes. So what's the problem? You know what I mean?
It's a facade.
Right.
And just making the people think that we're changing with times.
Right. And that's not happening.
Because at the end of the day, in the back door, you still got places and spaces where they got noose hanging up. You got letters now going to people's front doors and businesses. You still have this hate that's been built in the fabric of the DNA of this country. So that's not going to change.
That's not going to change.
It's making it seem that we're moving in the right direction for diversity.
Right. And we're not. Not when we have the Karens and people who carry this weight of entitlement that they can say and do whatever they want, however they want, whenever they want.
Absolutely.
As long as people like that exist.
Yeah, well, it just got worse, in our last
did it get worse? Did it get worse, or did it get more public?
Number of 40, was it 45? When he felt like he could say anything he wanted to say. So now people think they can say anything they want to say. But I'm just saying, like, it's almost like a pattern now. I mean, even with the guy Herschel Walker, like, running for his position, and then now they brought up about the women, women having abortion for him and everything. I know they're getting paid. I know the ladies are getting paid, but it's like
somebody found a price tag. That's it.
Now, since it's a pattern, when it comes up now, you don't even believe it anyway, because it never happens until they're running for something or something good is happening to them. And that's when you hear all of this. Why you don't hear all of this stuff before?
But let me ask you,
what's important
besides that, okay, Herschel Walker is Black, right? Have you heard of any white candidates up there and all this luggage coming up in the forefront?
No.
Hear about it?
No.
About it?
This is JFK. JFK was there banging Maryland. Nobody said anything until how long after?
Exactly. And what is the significance of him paying for an abortion got to do with what he's capable of doing today?
Right, but the thing about it was, some of the people that they were interviewing asking questions about, about this problem with that's hurting his campaign with the women having abortion. These was not Black women. This was white women that was talking. Right. And the lady said she didn't care. She didn't care nothing
Yeah,
about
what kind of
what they
impact is
said
it?
about him in the past. That they didn't have nothing to do with him running for office.
Exactly.
That, you know, if the woman had the abortion, then that's what she did.
Right.
It wasn't going
He
to hold.
did it,
It wasn't going
right.
to keep her from voting for him.
He didn't
So
hold
that's
her at
why she-
gunpoint.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just showing you that people are getting tired of it. We're
Okay.
tired of it. If you got something to say it back there 10 years ago.
Because I don't want to hear it now.
Why you wait now till the person is either running for something or involved in something or doing whatever? Like I say, even though we not in the South vote for Herschel Walker, but the thing about it is, well, if this happened before, why did you go to his wife and tell him that?
Well, it's politics, right?
It's politics.
He's not in the position to run for anything back then of some significance.
Right.
So now when you coming up to a forefront,
I'm heard him now.
Position where you're like seen as this image now. Okay, now we got to put some things in. We got to pull some dirty laundry out.
Right.
But why is it so important? Why is people always getting distracted from the agenda that these people from the agenda itself? Why is everything focused? It's a distraction.
But that's what I'm saying with his campaign. See, this is a good example to let you know now that people are really getting tired of it because it didn't even hurt his campaign. Matter of fact, he shouldn't even be neck and neck with Warner. How would they be that close on top of each other in the votes? So that tells you right there that people are tired of it. They're going to vote for who they want to vote for now. Nobody wants to hear. And first of all, you a woman. Why would you even want nobody running around knowing that you have an abortion by some married man?
Who cared? I mean,
no, I'm just saying the woman. Why would you even want that to know?
But even two things, right? His kid, didn't he have a son that's out there that came forward and said he's not even taking care of them? Okay, even that issue, you got his actual kids coming forward. He didn't do anything. But then again, to go back to your question to ask, how did he get this close even to Warnock in Georgia? Georgia's already suspect to me. But who knows?
They've been suspect.
A little dirty.
Okay, so if he's legitimately this close, anyway, you know. So.
Well, I just think the people in Georgia, because remember now when Warner ran before, it was a close call.
Right.
He got in a close call there, and here we are in the same situation again. So I just feel like, you know, the people in Georgia is not coming out voting like they should be coming out voting, because look at Abrams, Governor Abrams that was running for governor again. Like, how is it that she didn't get in this time around?
Because it was the need, right? Look at the need of the climax of what's going on. When the vote needed to be heard, she campaigned like on foot, county to county.
That's my point.
Yes,
but these counties didn't get out and vote like they were supposed to.
Because people felt the energy would speak for itself, and they didn't come out to support her. And that's
right. The energy doesn't equate to votes.
Right. They fell short of that.
Exactly. That's what I said before. That I mean, that my other question was with the hot topic was, so we just get right on into that one too. Is like, are we taking our voting rights seriously now? Because if we're not using our vote to get on out there and vote and get some people in, then why do we keep complaining about we don't have this? We don't have this in the community. Okay, we can't get this. We can't do that. And you have the opportunity to take your vote and get out there and vote. Because that's why I was so disappointed and hurt, because I was like, this woman worked her tail off. So don't tell me there's not enough people in Georgia that could have put that woman in office.
They could have voted for her.
They could have.
You didn't. So people didn't come out and support like they were supposed to come out.
No.
And I'm talking about our vote as well.
Exactly. Well, you know, look at people's agenda, right? How many times, and I'm sick of hearing it all the time, where there's somebody, the people of color only come out when it's only somebody of color on the ballot.
People of color.
Okay. That is the most, and like you said, people don't get things, they don't get resources in their communities because they don't vote. They vote is their voice. You could go to communities and places where you'll have people come out and rally to get things in policy change just because it can affect everyone. Now, say for instance, right? You go in communities where you have like traffic accidents, right? The community will rally to get a 4-way stop sign or get speed bumps.
The speed bumps.
And it doesn't matter if they have kids now. It's the cause.
Right.
Too many people now is focusing on what they're going to do for me. What they're going to do for me.
That's always, or the other way around is they're not going to do anything.
Anyway. For me.
Exactly. They're not going to do anything anyway, so it doesn't matter who gets in.
Right.
And that's another thing too. Politicians should only come around when it's time for election.
For votes.
How many of them are in the community throughout for the people in the community to know who they are? Even in positions that they currently hold. I don't even see them in locally. Going to events and stuff.
Well, I can't. You know what? I'm not going to say that for all of them because they are some who
not all
in the community comes to events, so you actually know who they are. So they are some.
But I want to ask you a question. Are those the ones that look like us? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've only seen the ones that look like us.
I have to say, my Congressman Jeffers, he's very involved.
But he looks like us.
You know what he's doing.
Yes,
you know he's
absolutely.
like another little Schumer. You know, where you know what they're doing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Those are ones that are visible. Presence.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We want to see that, but what I'm saying with people with their votes, we have to keep our votes seriously because they've been trying to take our voting rights away from us again because the bill it was running out, so we had to fight for that again or whatever.
Right.
And we have to never forget that people died for us to be able to vote. So it's just like the regentrification is not coming in, it's already here in the neighborhood, and they doing all this and people moving in and people complaining. Like, well, what are you complaining about? They told you 10 years ago that this was going to happen. So if you had been coming out to meetings, to your planning board meetings and stuff, you would know what was going on.
Listen, they're complaining because the bacon, eggs, and cheese is $5.
We ask you to write letters because the garbage is not being picked up, and you don't want to write the letter. Then don't say anything because when the people move in, they will write the letter.
They will.
And now the garbage is being picked up, and now you see more security cops going up and down the street, and out there on the horses and all that kind of stuff. So what are you complaining about? When I saw the cop up here on Fulton Street on his horse, I asked him, like, did something happen? Why are you up here on this horse? He was like,
can I get a ride?
I was like, what?
Can I get a ride?
Yes.
Can I get a ride? I just want to sit on it, officer. But wait, that didn't come out right. Never mind.
So now we got security. The cops are on Fulton Street.
Okay.
Even though we're getting more tickets, but that's okay. So at least now we got more security. So I just say that people need to stop complaining. We need to use our votes, so this way we can
or at least make your complaint count
in our community and go out and vote. Go out and vote. I mean, the primaries, the elections are coming up again. We have to make sure the right people get in place, But
so, also,
we want to thank you for joining us. Okay. What, Allison?
I was also just going to quickly say, also to make the people accountable who do win the votes, whether they're people you wanted or not.
Exactly. That's another thing that we have to hold them accountable and stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us tonight, and remember, control your anger.
Facts.
Say what you have to say when time comes to say it, not when somebody's getting the joy of their life or whatever, and protect our votes. So thank you for joining us tonight again. Make sure you go to our Facebook page and like us. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Thanks again. Thanks, ladies. Thank you. As always, we'll see you next time.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Do you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Space Rock Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shannon.